Well, Congress is gearing up today for a major hearing on violence in America's prisons and how that violence affects all of us on the outside. The hearing will take place tomorrow because every year more than 13 million people enter U.S. prisons and jails. And ABC's Dan Harris has been studying the news on this front for all of us. Dan?
Diane, good morning. Here's something interesting to think about. Of those 13 million people who go into prisons and jails every year, 95% will eventually get out. 95%. Sometimes these people will be angrier and more violent than when they went in. Tomorrow, members of Congress will be hearing from prison reformers, both liberal and conservative, who have a new report that says, quote, what happens inside jails and prisons does not stay inside jails and prisons.
In less than 2 years, Michael Buie will walk out of prison and into the community. His rap sheet shows Buie's been in and out for 15 years, much of it, he says, in violent conditions.
And I'm fighting and I'm stabbing people and I'm trying to, survive.
He'd get out, commit more violent crimes like robbery and assault, and go right back in.
And I know prison is for punishment, but would you put a pit bull in a cage and poke him with a stick and let him out in a classroom full of kids? That's the same thing you do in the inmates.
Every year, an estimated 650,000 inmates are released. That is a population larger than the entire city of Boston. And 2/3 of them will be rearrested within 3 years. Half of them will end up right back inside.
A cycle that creates new crime victims and costs millions of dollars for courts and corrections. The prison reformers who will testify before Congress tomorrow say violence is a serious problem behind bars. Experts say the causes are overcrowding, the overuse of solitary confinement, 23 hours a day in tiny cells can lead to psychological deterioration, and budget cuts that have removed programs that keep inmates productive. Congress will also hear allegations of medical neglect. Victoria Wright says her husband died in a prison in California after not receiving the medication he needed.
I believe they murdered my husband. When you denied him that medicine, didn't you think he was going to die?
The system is here to correct, not only punish.
The warden at the prison where Michael Buie is locked up says the system is slowly starting to change.
If we don't do a complete job with our rehabilitation, then we're creating more victims because that same man can get out of prison and do it to somebody else.
Buie, for example, is now enrolled in a Christian program, and he's become a model inmate.
I'm stepping out and I'm doing things and I'm seeing that I can accomplish things and do these things. It's all through God and, through this program, I feel.